Hey guys, this is it. We got through setup and overview, we got through gameplay. Now, let's take a look at the finales. Once again, as I've said before, this is not going to be a spoiler video, at least as much as I can help it. Because of that, there won't be a lot of actual gameplay in it. I'm just mainly going to show you mechanics, going to show you how to set it up, going to show you how different things work in it, but I'm really going to try to keep from ruining this for you guys. Now, there will be chances for you to pause things and ruin it for yourself if you really want to, but why would you want to do that? So, each of the endings in Dawn of Madness plays very differently from every other one. So because of that, the ending we're going to do, ending B for Emily, is only a small sampler of what you're going to get, because some of them are radically different from this one, and they all have different mechanics in them and that sort of thing. But having said that, this should hopefully at least give you a good idea. The finales are shorter than the Wanderer stage. The Wanderer stage takes up a majority of the game. The finales is only going to be a few rounds, and but after that, you will get a conclusion. Now, if you lose in the Wanderer stage, you lose, period. However, if you get into the finale stage, you will get a conclusion. It might not be the conclusion you want. In fact, even the good conclusion might not be the conclusion you want. But you will get some sort of resolution to the story you've been building through this whole game. So, I think that's enough talking. Let's jump down to the board and take a look at Twin Sister and ending B. Okay, so you've defeated the Abomination, and you've collected at least 50 points towards the 4 different endings. Congratulations! You just won the Wanderer stage. So, what do you do now? Well, first of all, you have to determine which ending got the most points towards. You'll see here that there are multiple trackers in these spots. This shows that ending C had 13 points, ending D had 9, B had 22, and A had 18. So this means that ending B is the ending that we are going to be getting into. We're going to now organize the components. We've already removed the Abomination's card and figure and mental capacity tracker. The confrontation cards are gone, and we've put away the family lineage card, if that had been activated, but it wasn't. And then we will remove encounter cards off the board, and also remove any that we haven't done yet. We also remove any unclaimed coda cards, and then we flip over every world shard to its finale side, returning any components that are on there to them. And now we would prepare the Wanderers and Monsters. We would respawn any dead Wanderers. If any Wanderers were trapped, they would discard their trap tokens now. Each character restores mental capacity to max value, which we've already done over there. We would refresh the support cards, and then Wanderers and Monsters would leave their other components as they were in the Wanderer stage unless otherwise stated. We would then prepare the decks and token pools. We would leave the tarot cards and tarot deck as they were. The domain deck, we would leave it as it is. The condition cards, we would leave those decks as they were. Token pools, we would return any unused tokens to their respective pools. And then we would apply the ending special setup. And to do that, we would flip to the back of the storybook here and go over the endings special setup. Now, there's an introduction story here, as well as an overview. I'm not going to read the introduction story because I don't want to spoil things. In fact, I'm not going to show you too much in the way of gameplay here because I don't want to spoil things. And this other stuff that we've been doing, yeah, those are mild spoilers. Those are kind of like the first row of encounters in most cases though, and this is obviously like the final stuff. So I'll just read through the setup instructions and the special rules and stuff and show you a little bit of gameplay, and we'll go from there. So the overview, I'm going to skip over parts of this. Emily dreamed about something. All the black regret she repressed now floods her soul and world, striving to drown her in its nihilistic depths. Emily can barely function and certainly won't succeed without the aid of those trapped in the void with her. The other wanderers must help Emily escape her abyss by digging out the truth about her past, giving her the strength to go on. Only then can Emily finally face her ultimate trial. And then, so we've got some special setup here. We are going to place a void token on each world shard not containing a wanderer. So you may ask, what are void tokens? Well, these are void tokens. And then we're going to take out the Twin Sister final boss card and place it beside the game board. So either you likely noticed or I told you that there are two types of encounter cards in the normal Wanderer stage. There are reality shards, which are from Emily's perspective, and explorations, which are from the other Wanderer's perspective. But there's a third type of encounter card as well, which are red like this, and these will only show up in certain finales. There might also be other cards that would show up in other finales, but these are the ones for this particular finale. Okay, so there's a few special rules here. When Emily needs to spend domains, she may spend other Wanderers' domains from their dashboards rather than her own. Ooh, that's nice. Wanderers cannot harm Twin Sister for any reason. She cannot be harmed. Wanderers cannot enter a world shard with a void token. However, when Wanderers are adjacent to a world shard with a void token during their activations, they may perform the following action to remove the token from that world shard. Spend 1 mental capacity to test the 3 sentience colors matching the targeted world shard sentience icon. If multiple copies of a sentience color exist, test each one individually. If you roll at least 1 sphere result, discard the void token on that world shard. You may also spend a matching sphere domain from your dashboard to pass this test. However, you must lose 1 health for each skull die roll result. So in other words here, say you're Linus here and you want to move here, so you would test green, yellow, and blue and try to get spheres. If you get skulls, you would get hurt. When non-Emily Wanderers die, they remain dead for the rest of the finale. When any of the conditions below are met, go to entry 339. The finale then ends immediately. Emily dies. All non-Emily Wanderers die before 5 blue consequence tokens can be placed on the psychiatrist office, and Twin Sister's maximum mental capacity ever exceeds 10 during the event phase. The event phase, Twin Sister's maximum mental capacity permanently increases by 1. Ignore this step for the first game round. So in other words, every round she's going to go up 1 mental capacity. Then spawn 1 patient terror following this order: aftershock, hysteria, and lobotomy. Repeat as necessary. If the next patient in the cycle is already on the board, spawn the subsequent one in the order. If all 3 patients are on the board when one should be spawned, activate them all once without spending their mental capacity. Then spawn a random terror from the terror deck on a different world shard. So that's all the special setup instructions and special rules for ending B. Now, Twin Sister, if you look at her card, she's going to play pretty differently too. She has a passive ability still. The card's layout is roughly the same, but when a Wanderer is in the same space as Twin Sister for any reason, he or she dies instantly. So if poor Linus wanders into here, he's dead, and he's not coming back. First activation every round, Emily tests all 5 sentience for X total skulls. X equals Twin Sister's current mental capacity. If she fails, each Wanderer loses 1 health for each result that is not met. Ouch. So if Twin Sister's mental capacity is at 6, that might not be so bad. If her mental capacity is at 9, that means that Emily's having to roll for 9 skulls. And she gets to roll all her different sentience, but still, that's tough. Twin Sister moves up to 1 space toward the nearest Wanderer. So she's always just going to be moving across the board towards the Wanderers and trying to eat them. And if she gets close to one, she does. Each ending has 8 different encounters tied to it that you're going to have to get into in most cases. In some endings, you want to avoid them at all costs. But so for instance, actually, a lot of the ending Bs are like down here. Well, and with Twin Sisters, so that's unfortunate. There's also one there and one up here. So those would be the ones we would be going to, and we have to like blaze a trail through the voids to get to those encounters. Now you might be wondering why we leave some of these tokens on the board here, like for instance the finale endings or the round tracker. In certain finales, these are going to come into play, so depending how well you did during the Wanderer stage is going to kind of influence how things are going during the game. So for instance, in one particular ending, say you get into ending D with Emily, this is going to be just counting down each round until you reach 0. And if you reach 0, then it's over. So obviously in that case you would have probably more like this or even this, but it's just going to slowly count down. That's going to go away until you reach 0, and then the finale ends. So that's why you leave a lot of the different components on the board. It's because in certain endings, those are going to be influencing how the ending progresses. So another interesting thing here in ending B is you'll notice for most of the encounters, only a wanderer other than Emily may enter this encounter. If you are Emily, return to game. There are a couple of encounters in this that only Emily can do, but for the most part, the other wanderers have to help her to reconstruct her memories in her life so that they can get in here and so that they can defeat the twin sister. And that's the only way to do it. Otherwise, she's just going to rampage around the board and eat everyone until everyone's gone. And then you're going to have to go to the bad ending, which would be entry 339, which I'll show you, but I won't read it. So I know I'm being kind of vague here and I'm not showing you a lot of gameplay really in this finale, but I don't want to spoil it for you guys. It's kind of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, I know you want to see gameplay here. On the other hand, I really don't want to mess this up. So I honestly kind of feel like I might just leave it there for now. But in this particular ending, she's going to be moving towards you. You're going to be trying to get rid of these void tokens. And then you're going to be trying to get into the ending B stories, build up Emily until she can finally finish things off, and then come to a conclusion to defeat the twin sister. Or not. In either case, though, you will get a conclusion. Either a good one, or either a sort of good one, or a very bad one. Well, and in some cases, the bad endings, too, might be actually more what Emily wants, and it's more the good ending is her doing what is right. So that's another interesting thing, too, is she's not necessarily going to get a happy ending, even when it's a good ending. It's more she did what was right than anything else. Not even necessarily what she wants to have happen. Okay, well, I'd love to show you some of the gameplay here. I don't want to spoil the game though. So I don't think I'm going to. But hopefully this will give you a little bit of an idea how endings work. This is the only one of Emily's endings where you're fighting the twin sister. And another one, the finale itself, is the big bad. In another one, it's going to be the spider lady. And in another one, it'll be the patients and the malformations, and others are going to be just rampaging around the board and trying to stop you. And in that one, you're being drawn into the encounters, and the encounters are also trying to corrupt you. Every ending is very different, and they all play very differently. They all have very different special rules, special setup instructions, but hopefully this gives you a little bit of a taste of what to expect in the finale stage. So regardless of if you quote-unquote win or lose a finale that you're playing through, you will most likely receive a finale legacy card for the Central Wanderer. And these cards will stick with the Central Wanderer until you play through Emily's story again and get a different ending that has a different card, at which time you would discard the original card and take the new card. Each Wanderer is also going to get, from defeating the Abomination, one of these little Abomination legacy cards, and these are unique for each of the Abominations. And you can have Abomination legacy cards from a wide range of Abominations. However, you can only have one legacy card from each abomination. So if you defeat that abomination again, then you'll have to decide which abomination legacy card you want to take. Well guys, I think that kind of goes over a lot of Dawn of Madness. I hope you've enjoyed watching these videos, and I hope it's given you a better idea of how the game plays. And I also hope it has excited you for getting your copy when it arrives. So once again, I'm Byron for Dimension Games. Thanks for hanging out with me to watch these videos, and we'll talk with you again soon. Have a great day, and bye for now. Well, that's it, guys. That's all we got for this video series on Dawn of Madness. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've had a blast doing it, and I hope you've had a blast watching along with me. I hope it's gotten you excited for getting your game, and we're going to get that out to you as soon as we can. So thanks so much for watching, and thanks for being with us. Thanks for sticking with Dawn of Madness, and we really appreciate you guys. This is Byron Levitt with Dimension Games, signing out for now. See you guys soon.